No, it's not so much that in my case. It's just like for me, by the time I get for me, it's like running my business is kind of like one of those things where now that I've like got managers, like well-trained managers and staff at each location, it's like I don't have to do as much work, but it's like I have other shit I do
You
now
stopped
to
me.
take up my time. So by the time I do that, I just, I'm tired. And
You're hitting Z,
well, I get up early
right?
anyway. Almost every day I get up early anyway. And when I'm at work, like
Mhm.
sometimes my nights will go till like 1 in the morning. Then I get home at like 1:45, 2 o'clock, and then I sleep till around 6 or 7 when I'm at work, when I'm at home, and then I get up and go to work again. And that's 4 days a week. So like 3 days a week I don't go to work, so I'm quite happy about that. That's neither here nor there. We're live with another episode of Bullshit Busters. How do you like the new placard for the thing? It's really cheap and shitty looking because I'm not very good at illustration.
Hey,
Sue
we all.
me. Yes, I'm not good at illustration. I know I'm not good at illustration. Well, that's not entirely true. When I was in college, I took a course on uh, drawing, and if you put a gun to my head, I can draw. I can sketch pretty well, but it's not like you know how people who are really good at sketching can draw some shit in like 10, 15 minutes and the shit looks great.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
one of
know
those
that feeling.
people. It takes me time. It
You
takes me
need
time to
some.
draw. And I got to start with a number one pencil, go to a number two, and then go to a number three with a lot of erasing in between. But once I'm finished, the shit looks great. But it's like I gotta, you know.
You need prep,
Well,
right?
it takes time. It just takes me a lot of time to do it. But with that being said, this is BS Busters. New title placard, as you can see, the no bullshit sign on the thing with a restriction sign on it. Let's have the lady introduce herself, then the gentleman, and then we'll go into it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. I am Joe Eli Moonstar. Welcome you to the BS Busters, and it's that time of the year again. The VMAs are here.
Well, I was about to say it's the most wonderful time of the year.
The VMA, the video. Wait, what are the Oh, what does VMA stand for again?
Video game media awards, I guess. I don't know.
The Video Game Awards show.
I always
Well, I
thought
thought
it
it
was
was I thought the
VGM.
VGA.
Yeah, VGM, Video Game Media Awards. But yeah, whatever. Kenoshi?
Well, it's Kenoshi Abominito here to be glad I'm another one of the BS Busters.
Yeah, well, glad to have you. Glad to have you, sir. Glad to have you on the BS Buster podcast. I know that sounds like an evil laugh. I'm sorry. But forgive me, I've been watching some particularly evil shit, so I have an evil laugh. And we'll probably be joined by the other gentleman, Pinky, later on. So basically, tonight's cast is all we're covering that lost topic from Sunday. But before we go any further, the BS Busters is a podcast sponsored by nobody. um, uh, and our sole purpose is to hunt down and find bullshit in the video game sphere, the collective portion of video games in the that people play, people Twitch, people stream, anything like that. Is to find the bullshit and root it out and show it to people. Hey, look at that bullshit right there. And sometimes come up with constructive ways to fix the problem. Speaking of bullshit, another product has been rushed to market unfinished. half made, half formed, half baked. And this time from people who should know better. I was talking before the podcast began with Jewel Moonstar, and I was like, I cannot. Like, I'm surprised that Google Stadia is sucking this badly, because this is once again a group of people who should know better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, Google had 3 systems to look at for B, and yet here they are pulling off this.
Well, not just that. Just by virtue of being an online service, there are other online services that have tried to do what Google is trying to do with Stadia. That, I mean, some of them had some good things that worked, some of them didn't have some good things that work, and they had an example to go by, right? And I was saying before the podcast, it's very much like another company, like Nintendo, with their online. It's like you're charging people for something where it doesn't look very attractive the more you explain about what's going on. It's like on paper, before you went to the explanation, it sounded awesome, but then you explained it and it just got worse. It's the rabbi's it's like Mel Brooks's character in Robin Hood Men in Tights. He's like, hey guys, you guys need to have a circumcision. I heard the ladies love guys who've had a circumcision. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll do it. He's like, and the black guy's like, I'll take 2. And the guy's like, no, you don't understand what a circumcision is. And then he takes a little carrot and he shows the guys. And they're like, never mind, we're good. The more you explain about Stadia, the shittier it looks. And then on top of all of that, it finally comes out, and it's basically some bullshit.
I'm gonna say this, right, Fox? You want to give people information because they are skeptical as fudge about it. And that's a double-edged sword in itself.
Well, from what I've seen from people who have actually experimented with Stadia, the one game that was built around Stadia, Guilt, that was optimized to run well on Stadia, runs pretty well. Everything else,
You're SOL, aren't you?
so I don't know what to say. Kenoshi?
I was very skeptical of Stadia from the start because, once I heard about their payment options, it's like, we did this before 10 years ago with OnLive. It didn't turn out very well.
No, and the infrastructure was worse back then than it is now. But even
now it's not as great. I mean, even now it's not particularly all that great.
Yeah, but
mainly because of our internet infrastructure.
Yeah, but even if you take off the whole you need a certain data cap in order to run this shit. Even if you take that off, okay? That's a big. That's
you got about 3 seconds of lag.
That's like 3 big ass African bull elephants that are really gassy in the room, farting. Okay, but we're gonna ignore those 3 gassy elephants farting. Okay, we're gonna ignore them. The other problem is that none of the games, almost all of these games, are old shit that anyone who really wanted to play those games already has a way to play those games.
Yeah.
I mean, if you let me pull this shitty ass list up here. Let me go to PC Gamer. Google Stadia. Let me look it up. This was like, they added some games. I'm like, I don't really. it's not really impressive to me. Okay, so the original 12 was Attack on Titan Final Battle. Yeah, that's a real system seller. Farming Simulator
geez.
2019. Oh yeah, I get a chubby whenever I think about Farming Simulator 2019. Final Fantasy 15. That turd. Football Manager 2020. Oh yeah, because everyone wants to play soccer. Metro Grid 2019, a racing game that isn't Gran Turismo or Forza or one of the myriad of racing sims that are on PC. Yeah, Metro Exodus. That game was nice when it came out 3 years ago. NBA 2K20. I mean, how many people are going to play a sports game on a PC?
Why would you want to do that with so much input lag? Why would you do that?
Even if you weren't talking about the lag, I don't see a lot of I don't see people who play those types of games playing them on PC. Like people who play Madden, FIFA, NBA like NBA 2K, like basketball games, they don't play those games
all the
on
sports
PC.
games.
Yeah, because they like having a controller in their hands, Rage 2, okay, that's a game I could see being on the service, but I mean that game bombed financially, but whatever. Trials Rising, yeah, it's a racing game. It's a super bike racing game where you're like on bikes and off-road shit and dune buggies and shit. Wolfenstein Youngblood, another flop. But then these are the games that they're adding. This is the original 12. On top of that, Borderlands 3, Darksiders Genesis, which doesn't come out until the 19th of December. Dragon Ball Xenoverse on PC. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. This is trash. And you're not even getting, these aren't the games that are like part of the rotating cycle.
I was gonna say, this is not a great first impression, is it?
No, this is some bullshit. And this is. I mean, and here's the thing, like,
say this: if me and Red Fox were looking at the resume, we would throw this into the dumpster and turn it on fire.
You're paying $10 a month. You're paying $10 a month for maybe 4 or 5 free games, most of which are games that anyone who really wanted those games already have those games. Kind of like Xbox Gold, where like you get games with gold, and like most of the games that would come are like, I already have this game. But yeah, you need the recommended minimum bit rate is 10 megabytes per second for 720p 60 frames per second. Now, if they basically were basically for 60 frames per second stereo sound. Now, here's the thing: if we had that all over the U.S., I would say Google Stadia had a good chance. You know what I mean? Because Joe Blow average gamer just wants to be able to play their games at stable speeds, no questions asked. Basic HD, no problems. But they're like, oh yeah, you need this. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Input lag. The games that are more graphically demanding and require more precision are suffering. This is bullshit. And then you factor in the fact that we have shitty infrastructure where people have fucking data caps. Like most people here in America have fucking shitty ass data caps.
Which I feel sorry for, because the moment that those data caps are really paying extra gold in order to cover that extra data usage.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got shitty internet, Google Stadia ain't for you.
Yeah, these companies just don't get it for whatever reason. The biggest market is not going to be the U.S.
To quote a former big YouTuber, They just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on the internet, that could go on and off. Lineup of games and having it show that could be really big and basically depends on where you are in the. I'm gonna use Razorfist for this one. F you, I was right. F you, I was right. F you, I was right.
And the sad thing is that they should have known better, because Google is a tech company. They make their money with streaming and data packages and all that type of shit. And they're like, I mean, why would you shit out a product that you know is not going to be ready for prime time day one? And the video game industry is the only industry that does that. Like, someone couldn't sell you a car where, like, it's supposed to be a 4-car sedan and the back seat's missing. It's like, I want to use the radio. Oh no, the radio doesn't work. What about the windshield wiper? Well, the right one works, not the one on the driver's side window. It's like, what type of bullshit is this? Well, we'll add it later down the line. You know? like this is bullshit. This is total and complete bullshit.
Yeah, the generations before us wouldn't have put up with this. I mean, if they said, well, you know, we'll add this feature down the line, or, well, you know, we just didn't have time to, you know, put it in, so we're just gonna have to add it. Just gonna have to bring. They wouldn't have. That company would have went under. It would have went under.
They would have been like, well, you cannot get this purchase. Like, that's basically what would have happened. And yet we accept this bullshit. And this is bullshit.
Yep.
This is bullshit of the highest order. And like I said, like, okay, it would be one thing if Google were the first people to try this cloud-based streamed gaming, okay?
But they aren't. They have numerous examples of people who've tried this, and some have succeeded, some have failed. And face planted.
Well, no, right now Microsoft is doing their xCloud, but Microsoft has actually been putting a lot more work into their xCloud apparently than Google has.
Xbox.
And, well, no, I would say than Google's been putting into Stadia. And, I mean, here's the thing. Microsoft has an example of a program that's being run off the cloud. If you look at their cloud-based Office solutions, people are using Office products like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, other Outlook. They're using it with the cloud. They're not downloading anything. It's all being used with the cloud. So, I mean, and from what I've heard, I mean, it's kind of expensive because, I mean, like, I personally wouldn't do it because, you know, you got to pay a licensing fee. And if you don't pay their licensing fee, they're kind of holding your shit hostage. But for people who want to have that slim trim data form factor, it might work for them. And it works. It's not down. It doesn't lag. They put their shit in, they can get it out, no problem. So we have examples of this working. And yet Google, a tech company that has access, like Google has a fuck ton of money. No, we can't. No, we got to ship this out. Shit it out half digested.
And I thought Bethesda was buggy enough already.
Oh, we about to get to them. We about to get in their ass. In a derogatory and denotative, in a derogatory and negative connotative way. But yeah, you know, anything else you guys want to say about Google Stadia aside from, man, they fucked up?
I'm trying to end off because they clearly goofed up on this, and
there's no excuse for it.
It feels so good to be right.
Well, you know, it's. Like I said, Google Stadia, before they started telling you all the features that weren't going to be there day one, that they were going to add in later, the idea of paying $10 a month and having access to all your games, well, once you get the free things, all your games through high-speed internet, that is actually a good service. The problem is unless you have good high-speed internet, you're not going to be able to do it. And there's all these features that aren't there day one. So they literally just shat this out there half-baked. You know, it's like you were baking a cake and it only was halfway cooked and you took it out the oven.
I'm just confused. So they got rid of Hangouts on Air and Google Plus for this nonsense?
Yeah, Google Plus and Hangouts on Air had to die so that this shit could live, and it's a fucking half-formed, inbred. It's one of those things that when you watch a movie and they're doing it. Anyone here seen Alien Resurrection?
I've heard, and bad feeling that it went south fast.
Well, there's this part in the movie where the whole point of the movie is that they cloned Ellen Ripley. And they took out the alien queen that was inside of her, and then they took the alien queen and they made her produce alien xenomorphs, and they created a hybrid. Like it's confusing, but anyway, they cloned Ellen Ripley. But here's the thing: they clone a clone. It's going to take a while to get it right. So they go into the lab where there's like one of the clones of Ellen Ripley, and she's all fucked up, and they shoot her, and she's like, "Kill me, kill me." That's basically this half-breed clone thing that's begging to be murdered. That's what you basically have created with Stadia. It's not ready. It's not perfected. Why would you put out a product that doesn't work day one?
Only if you're wanting to either approve or get out before November's Black Friday.
No one wants to buy this shit.
All right, guys, I'm back from dinner.
I've talked with people who I have a friend who is a tech reporter for a local newspaper. Okay, this dude gets like this is the same guy who let me play Pokemon Shield like a week early. Okay, and at this point I've put like 3 hours into that game. Okay, and
You said 1 hour.
No. Well, that was 1 hour. Last podcast. Since then, I've played another 2 hours, so total 3 hours. And I mean, I'm standing by my original assessment. But I mean, Google Stadia. This dude, I asked him like, "Well, how is it?" It's not good. It is not good. It's not good. It's half baked. It was not ready for prime time. So. It's as in the old proverbial terms, it's some bullshit. So with that being said, I guess we can move on to the next. Anything you want to add about the Google Stadia failure, Pinky? Since you're here.
All I have to say is that it was expected.
Yeah.
Nothing to say at least.
I don't know why these companies keep on shitting out products that are half baked, missing features. Key things that should be there day one. No, we'll get to it later. Fuck you. That's my opinion. Which leads to a continuation of last week's topic of Sunday's topic. When is a game / product too broken or feature poor to be released? Like, what's the breaking point? What's the point where you're just like, why are people buying this? Why? It wants to don't everybody dive in the pool.
If there are some game-breaking bugs, like crashes, either at random or specific commands or whatnot.
All right. Okay. Kadoshi?
Sorry, what was the question again?
When is a game or product too broken for release? What is the straw that would break the camel's back for people? Because it doesn't seem that anything is ever going to be too far for these people.
When the game can't even turn on. when you can't even boot the game, like Red Dead Redemption for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, it was crashing at launch. Like
Yeah.
the launcher would start and then it would just crash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like falling through floors and all the other stuff. A lot of that stuff can be fixed fairly quickly. It's just when the game can't even boot.
You
when
can't
it
even
keeps
play
crashing.
the damn game. Yeah.
We can't even play the damn
That's
game. Yeah.
that's the game's way of telling you I'm trash.
Yeah.
For the ladies who might be listening, that's like when you go on a date with a guy and you take him home or he takes you home and you're about to hit it and he says, "I just here's a disclaimer. I'm trash in bed." Back to your cue to get the fuck out of there. Or if you're with a lady, she's like, "Yeah, I'm not good in bed." It's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's time to go. Let's see. Area73 says E.T. went over that line in 1982. Yeah, because it was actually E.T. wasn't that bad. I played that game on Atari 2600. It's really not that bad of a game. It was a combination of things. It was the fact that Atari dropped out. I think they made like 4 million of that game, and they only sold about initially like 1 million, like 1.2, and then people returned half of that. Like that basically was the fuck you point. They overestimated their budget is basically what happened. They thought they were going to sell out because it was E.T. because that was the hottest movie in 1982. And, it was just a series of chronic fuck ups. Thanks a lot, Warner Brothers. See, people think Warner Brothers has just been shitting out half-baked products just this generation or last generation. They've been doing it for years. Because Warner Brothers used to own Atari. As a matter of fact, they were the owners of Atari when that shit happened in 1982. And then they quickly dumped it over to Jack Tramiel, who proceeded to just focus on the computer part of Atari for a while, and then tried to get back into the gaming industry with the Atari 76, 78, 7800, but it just didn't work. Because when the 7800 came out, the 7800 came out in, I want to say 88, 87. Mm-hmm. The NES had been out for, at that point, almost 4 years. If you look at worldwide, like, because the NES, the Famicom came out first in Japan, then a year later it came out here in America. So the Famicom had been out for a while at that point. And like like if you see a game that was made for the ground up for the 7800, they actually look really good. But most of the games that were on the 7800 were just slight upscales of shit from the 2600.
The Atari as a software company came back for back during I think it's the 6th gen. They came back with a lot of the
they were publishing
like
some
Dragon Ball Z games and stuff.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball Z games, the 2D Dragon Ball Z games were good, especially the third one. I think the third one's like the pinnacle of the 2D ones. They published some games that were really good, but fuck, it's not working well now. But so Jewel, I guess it's your turn. When is a game or product too broken or feature poor to release?
When content from the game that makes the game what it's supposed to be.
All right, it's a fair point.
I mean, seriously, would you buy something that tries to cut out the core of what the game is supposed to be?
No, it's the reason I didn't buy Fallout 76. It's the reason why I regret buying Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 is Fallout for dummies. It's like you want to play Fallout, but you don't want to make deep moral decisions or, have your stats actually mean something. Well, we got a Fallout for you. It's Fallout for dummies. I mean Fallout 4. That's, it's like, you don't want to actually, make deep choices. Fallout 4. It's a first/third person shooter set in the Fallout universe. If they'd have called Fallout 4 that, I probably wouldn't have said anything. But the fact that they're like, yeah, this is Fallout 4, I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah. Switch. So what do you think is the solution? Like should gamers just um, continue to just ride down this path of getting shittier and shittier products with more features? I mean, look at Anthem. Anthem came out. That game was not ready for launch. That game should have been in the oven for at least another 6 months. That game should have been in development for another 6 months.
Well, there is one solution, but it may be a bit too political for this podcast.
What, just don't buy the product?
No, like abolish capitalism.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I saw that one of my.
Yeah, good luck with that. I think you would do better trying to get a praying mantis to stop a cart from running it over by brandishing its foreclaws than trying to stop capitalism. At this point.
I used to be one of those guys saying true capitalism's never been tried before, and I've kind of backpedaled on that after thinking about it for a little bit.
No, true capitalism is basically where the free market has reigned with no regulations. I would say that we truly do need a regulatory board for these products. You need a regulatory board where people can say this shit isn't ready for prime time. You're not allowed to put it out.
Yeah, that's what I was. But somebody to be sure that everything is going in order and it's not going to flump.
Like, wouldn't it be great if we actually had a real electronics product regulatory board that would drop in when you like Google Stadia? It's like, oh, this shit isn't ready for prime time. You need to get this shit right. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Games that are missing core features. Oh, this shit definitely isn't ready. You need to get this shit ready. Because, I mean, people say that video games are works of art. I disagree with that assertion. They're a commercial product because a work of art can be half finished and people will still buy it because people can guess the intent of the artist because, art is also about intent. But when someone's selling you a product, you want that shit ready. Okay? Like if someone's selling you a car, you would not buy a car where half the car is missing. You would not, if you were buying a refrigerator, you wouldn't buy a refrigerator. This is a refrigerator. It's got an ice maker and it gives water and hot water and cold water and tap water and you open it and like half the shelves are missing and the ice machine doesn't work. Oh, well, we'll add that later on. We'll come to your house and put it in. You wouldn't buy that, and yet people are accepting this.
That's a failed sale.
People are accepting this. People are buying games that are missing core features day one. In some cases, they're like, nah, we're never going to add that. We took it out. It's never coming back. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah, that's another thing. They'll even take away features from games.
Or they'll water a feature down to the point where it's not really what it should be.
It's not really that game.
Yeah, it's not really what it should be. So my point is this: for me, the red line is games coming. Like if a game is missing its core, what the core game is about, if it's not there or it's been diminished, I can't buy it. So Fallout 4, I did not buy that game. Well, I regret buying that game because it's not a Fallout game. It's a first-person / third-person shooter, but it's not Fallout. Fallout 76, I did not buy that game. Why? Because it missed the whole core point of what Fallout is. Like, a RPG, whether it be a Western RPG or a JRPG or a tabletop RPG, an RPG is about the player's journey from point A to point B. It's about the quest. It's about the choices they make while undertaking that quest, right? Basically it's interactive storytelling. Why the fuck would I want to play a game where my choices are severely restricted, or there's no real story being told. It's like I'm just reading a whole bunch of shit. Fuck you. I'm not playing that game. So what do you guys think about that? What?
I agree. Since seriously, if we have to for certain features to be there, or it's so watered down, it's just bubble air, as far as I know. Might as well just skip it.
All right. Fair enough. Okay. So I guess we can move on to the next topic. The Game Awards controversy.
To say, I announced this already. It's that time of year again. Boy, I can hear the fireworks in that topic already.
Okay.
BJ, or as we like to call it, the Kojima show.
No, it would be the Kojima show if we're gonna see Jeff Keighley and Hideo Kojima finally consummate their man love for each other on stage. Fucking losers. Like, I don't think Death Stranding should be there since Hideo Kojima is such a good friend of Jeff Keighley. But anyway, so basically, here's their Game of the Year choices. Control.
Nominees.
Yeah, nominees. Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and The Outer Worlds.
And we know that Death Stranding is going to win because people can't stop
People
praising
can't stop
Kojima.
riding that game's dick, even though it's not very good. I would say...
But this is the thing that confuses me. They say it's kind of boring, but I love this game. It's like, what is wrong with you people?
The whole point
It's
of
like,
playing
yeah,
a video game is to have fun. Yeah.
And yet you guys support this beep.
It's got to be engaging. Well, the only game that I actually would recommend being on that list is The Outer Worlds. And the only reason I'm saying that The Outer Worlds deserves to be there is because Resident Evil 2 is a fucking remake of a game that came out years ago. I don't think it should be there. Control, I heard that's a good game. I don't know, but I heard it's a good game, so it can deserve to be there. Death Stranding, that's not even it's a walking simulator. It's a goddamn walking simulator, and you deliver packages, so you're a delivery boy. It's a delivery boy simulator in the future. What the fuck?
Or thinking that it's based on stuff that's going on in the U.S.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if that game is based on shit going on in the U.S. legitimately, then Hideo Kojima is the genius that I've always thought he was overrated to be called. If not, and it's just some bullshit, then it's some bullshit. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
It didn't get into the... Well, to be fair, it was understandable why it's getting nominated because the game came out like the day after last year's VGA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... Like, here's the thing. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a good game, but it came out last year. And I know on technicality it came out after, like, the day after the nominations, all that shit. But it's a 2018 game, not a 2019 game. So I'm not... Like, it just shouldn't be there on GP.
I was going to say, thank you, technicalities.
No, it just shouldn't be there. It just shouldn't be there. It came out last year. They should have had a special thing for last year, but whatever. Like I said, Resident Evil 2. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That's a good game. It's not great. It's pretty good, you know. Best game direction. Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, The Outer Wilds. Sorry, not The Outer Wild. It's just Outer Wilds.
Outer Worlds.
No, it's Outer Wilds. Outer Wilds is the game where you play as this banjo-playing astronaut in this surreal world with really weird-looking graphics. It's actually a pretty fun little adventure game, so... I mean, I like it. Best narrative. A Plague Tale: Innocence, Control, Death Stranding, Disco Elysium, The Outer Worlds. I would say Disco Elysium and The Outer Worlds have pretty good narratives. I don't know what the fucking narrative of Death Stranding is. Does it have a narrative? Nobody
Barely.
knows. No one can tell me. No one can give me any information about this game. At this point, I know nothing. At this point, I know absolutely nothing.
And people are proud of this?
I don't know. If you have to defend a game and like tell people, well, it's cerebral or you know too much, I don't know.
Yeah. You need a lowered standard for that one.
But that's just me. God.
Next category.
Yeah, that's right. I was looking at something real quick. So the next category is Best Art Direction: Control, Death Stranding, Gris or Gree, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
Don't put Death Stranding on there, please.
No, they just keep on who the fuck categorized these games? Why do I keep on seeing the same 4 or 5 games every list?
I was gonna say, which is this category trying to be sure?
Best Art Direction. Best Score / Music: Cadence of Hyrule, Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Cadence of Hyrule.
What category is this?
Best Score
Best
/
score.
Music. From what I heard of people, Death Stranding doesn't really have music. It's more atmospheric, except when you do certain things where you get this symphonic upswell of music. But aside from that, it's just, you don't really get a lot of music in that game.
Lazy sound direction.
Yeah, I'm not understand.
So, and Cadence of Hyrule is basically like mostly remixes of previous Zelda games, such as
some people like that. Some people like that shit. So I'm not gonna discount someone who likes
So, best audio design, there's Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Control, Death Stranding, Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
Best performance, Ashley Burke as Parvati Holcomb from The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, that's right. It's Ashley Birch as Parvati Holcomb, The Outer Worlds. Courtney Hope as Jessie Faden, Control. Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz, Gears 5. Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff, Death Stranding. Matthew Peretta as Dr. Casper Darling, Control. And Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges, Death Stranding. You know what? We don't need to keep on reading this. You know what this shit is? This is one big fuck you blowjob to Hideo Kojima. Because Death Stranding is fucking stacked on this fucking thing.
I was about to say, stack.
And both Death Stranding and Control are nominated twice.
Yeah. But Death Stranding is in way more categories.
Games for Impact: Concrete Genie, never heard of it. Grease, also never heard of it. Kind of Words, never heard of it. Life is Strange 2, that I heard of it. And Sea of Solitude.
Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 15. Sorry, 14. A slip of the tongue there, folks. Slip of the tongue.
I'm sorry, did not hear that right. You said 15? Oh, God. I'm sorry, that was just too funny.
After Final Fantasy 14 is Fortnite and Rainbow Six Siege.
That's right. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
So,
best independent game, Baba Is You, Disco Elysium. Actually, I've played that game. It's pretty good. Katana Zero, that's a good game. The Outer Wilds, that's a good game too. Untitled Goose Game, that's a game where you get to play as an asshole.
Really fun. I got stuck in the jam. You got stuck in what? A jam. It was me and my friend, and he said, I'm gonna put him in jail. And he's like, oh yeah? We'll put you in the jail. And then he like, look, I said, let's just split and we'll go back into jail. Together. So we went together in jail. And it just
if anything, I'd probably say either Katana Zero or just because of the trolling Goose Game.
Well, independent game actually has a pretty good collection. Baba Is You I haven't heard of, but the other games I have heard of: Disco Elysium, Katana Zero, Outer Worlds, Untitled Goose Game. And all four of those, I mean, I guess the Entitled Goose Game might let people channel that inner asshole, I guess.
Inner perk.
You know, because sometimes people just sometimes you want to be an asshole, and this lets you be that asshole.
Yeah, I was saying that it's going to be a tough choice in that one, at least.
Yeah. Best mobile game.
Call
of Duty.
Call of Duty has a mobile game?
Yeah, of course they do. It's Activision, man. Of course they're gonna have a mobile game. Grindstone, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sky Children of Light, What the Gulf.
What the? Okay.
Apex, best community support. Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
I'd say because Apex Legends because that is as predictable as Fortnite.
So Trinell83 has a comment. Fire Emblem is not nominated for best score. Really? Look, man. Look.
Yeah.
You know that. You know that Game Awards is. Look, the Game Awards is one big circle jerk, and I guess Intelligent Systems and Nintendo didn't pay their fees, so it didn't turn out.
Yeah, because that score, that music and Fire
I was about to say,
Fire Emblem is phenomenal.
Because this Nintendo
lost for the Golden Deer route in Three Houses.
Man, I don't know, man. You know, it's Nintendo, and you know Nintendo gets snubbed all the time, so don't get surprised.
Well, I won't be surprised. Yeah, they're gonna get snubbed. It's fine.
Asgard's Wrath, Sanzaru, best VR/AR game. Asgard's Wrath, Blood and Truth, Beat Saber, No Man's Sky. I put that shit on
a VR game.
Did I hear that right?
Yes, you did. Trover Saves the Universe.
Now, I heard No Man's Sky has gotten a lot better.
Give me Beat Saber.
Look, so does a dog turd that's in your front yard that the rains kind of hit and the smell kind of goes down, but that still doesn't change as a dog turd.
Yeah,
it's stinky.
Whew.
You played No Man's Sky since it's still pretty bad, even though they fixed.
I'll be honest with you. I played it when it first came out, and then I played it when the first update came, and I was like, it's not getting any better to me. And I went to my friend's house and played it when they did Beyond, which is like the final update. But it just, like, No Man's Sky to me is just really fucking boring. So, because there's really, like, it's a game where it has no real plot.
Yeah.
Just having more shit that you can interact with and do doesn't change the fact that the game has no plot. Like,
yeah.
Best action game. Apex Legends, Astral Chain.
Yeah.
Oh, so Astral Chain is in the end.
Yeah, best action game, Apex Legends, Astral Chain, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5, and Metro Exodus. Personally, I think that DMC 5 or Astral Chain will probably get it.
I hope for Astral Chain. I predict
But
they'll
probably not, yeah. Even though it's for
No,
platinum.
I think Devil May Cry will probably get it.
What?
I think Devil May Cry will get it because it seems like people are downplaying Astral Chains.
Yeah, because it's only on one system.
And because it doesn't have hyper-realistic graphics like Devil May Cry 5.
Which to the detriment of that game, because DMC always had kind of an exaggerated art style. Best action/adventure game. Borderlands 3, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Best RPG, Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy 14. Why the fuck? That's an MMO. That's not an RPG. God damn it. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Kingdom Hearts
I mean,
3. That's not a fucking RPG.
And the thing about Final Fantasy 14, it probably would have fit better on best ongoing game rather than
It's in ongoing.
RPG.
It's in best ongoing game. I don't know why it's also an RPG.
Okay.
It's not an RPG.
Yeah.
And the next game is Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
But isn't that a DLC update rather than a
Yeah,
sequel?
it is a DLC, and also Monster Hunter isn't a fucking RPG.
Fire Emblem Three Houses should have been nominated in this category.
I guess tactical RPGs don't count.
It's still more of a strategy game than it is a straight up RPG. The Outer Worlds, okay, that's an RPG. Disco Elysium is an RPG. Why are 3 of the 5 games in best RPG not fucking RPGs?
That's the sad thing.
Okay, now the next category, best fighting game, is gonna make you laugh.
Yeah, best fighting game, we got Dead or Alive 6. Fuck that game. Jump Force.
God.
Fuck that
Which-
game too.
Oh, that game was awful.
Fuck that game too. Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, I'll give it to him. That could be there. Samurai Showdown. Okay, that can be there too. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Look, I'm not casting aspersions on the game, but that game's from 2018.
Yeah.
If anything, if Jump Force or Smash Bros. Takes that crown, I'll be having a...
Well, if Jump Force takes it, someone needs to be thrown off of a high balcony.
Oh, that game looks terrible. I hate the art style in that game.
And it also just is not. It's not a good fighting game.
Doesn't it just play like the Naruto games, like the?
Basically, yeah. It's very casualized.
The biggest sin for this category is the new Power Rangers game not being nominated.
No, that's not a sin. That means that even though they're fucking crazy over there at the Game Awards, they're not that crazy. Next, best family game.
Oh, that's a...
Pretty much all categories.
No, I bet you.
Pretty much all nominations are Nintendo games.
Luigi's Mansion 3,
1,
Ring Fit
One,
Adventure, Super Mario Maker
2,
2, Super
3,
Smash Bros. Ultimate,
4,
Yoshi's Crafted. Everything is Nintendo.
5.
Yeah, everything's Nintendo. So, like 5 games, all of them Nintendo.
Well, I'm not surprised.
I mean,
We call the
they
Nintendo
like to
category.
call Nintendo kitty and family friendly, and literally, it's so Nintendo's guaranteed to win something. So there you go, folks. Best strategy game: Age of Wonders: Planetfall. That's actually pretty good. Anno 1800. I heard it's okay. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Okay, it makes sense that it's there. It's a strategy game. Total War 3 Kingdoms. Okay, makes sense. It's a strategy game. Tropico 6 makes sense. It's a strategy game. Wargroove. Chucklefish. Okay, that's basically it's basically Advance Wars, except like fantasy Advance Wars. So it makes sense. I'm cool with that. Best sports / racing game: Crash Team Racing, Nitro Fueled, Dirt Rally 2.0. eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer 2020. F1 2019, FIFA 20.
Thank goodness that WWE game isn't on this list.
No, because the people would have had an apoplexy if that shit was there. Best multiplayer game: Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Tetris 99, Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Tetris 99. I hope for it.
And why is Smash Bros. Not categorized this time around? Because it's a multiplayer-based game as well.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know what brain dead motherfucker came up with these lists. Next, fresh indie game, but of course they were crowd made lists, so there's your thing. Fresh indie game presented by Subway. So
What?
for Zayum for Disco Elysium, Nawada Studio for Gree, Dead Toast Entertainment for My Friend Pedro, Mobius Digital for Outer Wilds, Megacrit for Slay the Spire, and House for Untitled Goose Game. You know what? I'm gonna give it to House for Untitled Goose Game because any game that lets you basically it's an entire game about being an asshole is pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's a
That's
concept that lets
revolutionary.
out the inner evil of you.
No, the idea of playing a game, like the entire point of the game is that you're an asshole, is just hilarious to me. Next, we have Content Creator of the Year. Courage, Jack Dunlop, Dr. Lupo, Benjamin Lupo, Ewok, Soleil Wheeler, Grefg, David Martinez, and Shroud, Michael Grziersiak.
I never heard of any of those guys.
I've heard of Dr. Lupo, and that's it. Best esports
I need
game.
to see his work.
Yeah, best esports game: Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, Valve, Dota 2, Valve, Fortnite, Epic Games, League of Legends, Riot Games, Overwatch, Blizzard. Why isn't Splatoon 2 on this list? That's an esport game. That game is like made to be an esport game.
Same with Smash.
Yeah. Oh. Well.
And yet both of those games got snubbed again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they stacked the category with Nintendo on the family game, so you know.
Also, Call of Duty Modern Warfare isn't listed as well.
Yeah, but that's not really a family game. I mean, that's not really an esport game. I know people think it is, but it isn't. Best esports player. Oh God, Kyle Booga Giersdorf. He plays Fortnite. Giersdorf, yeah. Lee Faker Sang-hyuk, SK Telecom League of Legends. Luka Perkovic, G2's Esports League of Legends. Alexander Simple Kostiliev, Natus Vincere, CS Counter-Strike Go. Jay Sinatra Wan, SF Shock Overwatch. Yeah, I don't think Overwatch is going to win shit. Just because of Blizzard Activision's bullshit, I don't think it's going to win shit. Best esports team. Oh, God. Astralis, CSGO, G2 Esports, LOL, League of Legends. OG, Dota 2, San Francisco Shock, OWL, oh God, and Team Liquid, CSGO. God, where they come up with these names? Jesus.
These names are weird as hell.
Best Esports Event 2019 Overwatch League Grand Finals, EVO 2019, Fortnite World Cup, IEM Katowice 2019, that must be in Poland. League of Legends World Championships 2019, the International 2019. Fuck, does anyone care about esports? Because I don't.
Well, the thing is, I hate esports as much as I hate sports, but at least with sports, at least people are actually doing something.
See, No Man's Sky came out this year. Learn something new. No, my problem with esports is this. The whole point of sports is to see people play something at the level that the average person can't play. The problem with esports is that most of the shit those people are doing, if you train enough, you could do too. It's not like I don't care how much you want to. You're never going to grow to be 7'2" and be able to slam dunk if you're not already 7'2" and athletic enough to slam dunk. Like, I don't care how much you want to and all the training you do, you ain't going to be able to do that, right? Same thing with football. You know, like, I don't care how much you love football and how much you really want to play football. You're not going to grow to be 6'4" and put on another 150 pounds of muscle and be able to just do a 100-meter dash in under 20 seconds. You ain't gonna be able to do that. Whereas esports, like everything that's done in esports, if someone were to train enough, they could do it too. So I don't consider it to be a sport because anybody, if they trained enough, could do it. Whereas in sports, even if you train really hard, you can't do it. That's why it's so exciting to see, the Olympics or, professional boxers or, the NFL or the NBA, because you're seeing people play on a level and able to do shit that Joe Blow average person cannot do.
Yeah, that's why, even though I'm not a big sports person, I don't really watch sports. At least I have more respect. I have more respect for athleticism than I do for esports.
Doesn't that also describe esports as well? Because playing video games also requires like pattern memorization.
Yeah, but if you train if someone trains long enough, they can get good at StarCraft. If someone trains long enough, you can get good at StarCraft too. If someone trains long enough, they can get good at all those games that are esports. If you train someone constantly for 6 months, they could get good enough to play professionally. I don't care how much you train. If you're 5'2", you ain't going in the NBA.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's based upon something that you have because of your genetics and your natural talent. Like, it's not something you can train hard enough and be able to do. That's not so with esports. Anybody can do that. Anybody can get into it. And because it's not as exclusive, even though people like to pretend it is, it isn't. Anyone can get into it. It doesn't have the same prestige. It's like, I mean, I know this is going to sound kind of elitist, but like let me put it this way, okay? You want to know why so many college-level football players can't hack it in the NFL?
Because they're not tall enough?
No. They can't hack it because when you're playing, the difference between the NFL and the NCAA is that the competition level is completely different. The NFL is the top tier competition level. You have to be really good to do well in the NFL, okay? Like insanely
in short,
good.
You need high amounts of talent.
Okay, you need, and well, not just that. It's like you're playing at a level. It's kind of like when I was in high school, right? I was on both volleyball teams. I was on the B volleyball team and the A volleyball team. And because I was on both teams, like basically, like initially when I was on the A team, I wasn't quite as good as they were, but they raised my skill level up. And when I was on the B team, because my skill levels were high enough, I raised my like a lot of my teammates up because they had to keep up with a higher competition level. That's the same thing in the NFL versus college sports. Once you go professional, you are playing at a level that you were not playing at before, and you either have to raise your skills up or you're not going to be there. And that's the thing, is that these people are not playing like, and here's the thing, it's like you either have it or you don't. And a lot of them don't have it. So, it is what it is. Trinell83 has a comment. No Man's Sky came out this year, learned something new. No, they nominated it. I don't know why. I guess because of that new shit that came out for it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. The Game Awards is baffling to me. Next, we have the best esports coach, Eric Andren Hoig, Nuri Kane Jang, Fabian Grabs Lohman, Kim Kakoma Jung-yu. Oh God, it's Korean. I can't pronounce Korean. I'm just gonna call him Kim Koma Jung-gyun. Probably.
Excuse the butchering.
Jung-Jun. I'm sorry. Look, I don't speak Korean. It's the most useless language on planet Earth because it's only spoken in Korea. Okay? Yeah, that's the like. I had a student that I tutored, and she learned Chinese, and I was like, do you know something that I don't? But she did it for college, to look good for college transcripts. But in the grand scheme of things, like Chinese and Korean are two of the most useless languages you can learn because Chinese is only spoken in China, and Korean is only spoken in Korea. Spanish is a really useful language because, you can go to South America and Mexico and various islands and be understood. And because it's a Romance language, you can go to, Italy or France and be able to kind of puzzle out what's going on. Chinese is only in China.
Well, Chinese is really useful if you're going to go into business, like in the tech industry or something like that.
If you're in China, yeah. But if you're not in China, it would be better for you to learn Japanese.
Yeah.
Like that creepy ass Mark Cerny. I swear, if someone came up to me and said, yeah, he's got like 3 people buried under his garage, I'd be like, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Mark Cerny. He is a bit
creepy looking.
A bit awkward.
Yeah. Creepy as fuck.
Even his voice.
Creepy as fuck. I'm like, dude, don't ever talk. Just don't say anything, please. Next we have the best esports host.
Oh boy.
Okay. FG Scores Deportier. Alex Machine Richardson. Thank you for having a normal name. Paul Red-Eye Chaloner. Alex Golden Boy Mendez. And Dwayne Candace Yushang. So
that's pretty much it.
I don't know how they came up with these categories or these games, but
whoever did,
it's fan chosen, so whatever. I'm not voting because this is some bullshit. And I'm the first person who says your vote matters. In this case, your vote does not matter. Read my lips. Your vote does not matter.
Not in this case.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter. Now what happened? Oh God. Now I got that song stuck in my head.
So with that being said, we have some other news of other things that came out this week. Shenmue 3! Finally came out, folks!
However, the review embargo doesn't come out until like 2 days after it came out.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I've never been that into Shenmue. I've tried to get into it. I have the original Shenmue for the Dreamcast. I got the second one for the Dreamcast as well, and because it came out in Europe on the Dreamcast, and I'm not impressed with it. So, and so I'm not exactly all a quiver for the next one, if you get my drift.
A lot of us are not excited.
I'm not like, oh my god, this is going to be fucking awesome. I'm like, I don't really care. I don't necessarily give a shit. So with that being said, another big game came out. Let's see, new games of this week. Let me go on IGN. Not a big IGN fan, but fuck it.
I evaded like the plague.
About how Capcom is releasing yet another updated re-release of Street Fighter V.
Yeah.
What?
Even though they said they weren't gonna do it.
Yeah, and it's called the Championship Edition.
Anniversary Edition. It's like called like
Surprised.
Anniversary Edition, some shit like that. It's ridiculous.
Sorry.
Which includes all the DLC released thus far, plus Gil.
Yeah, for $30. So
At least it's only $30 compared to.
yeah. So folks,
$150.
if you want to get in on that Street Fighter 5, now's the time. $30.
Man, Arc Systems keeps releasing more trailers on new Guilty Gear, and it looks better and better every time.
Yeah, it does. It looks way better every time. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So here's some news for you. Next Saints Row game to be revealed in 2020. Yeah, I give more of a shit about that than this shit right here. Stadia
Next
users
Saints Row.
demand refunds and start petitions over delays.
Oh,
Oh, the sweet
Y'all shouldn't have bought that
call.
shit day one.
Now I'm gonna say it.
Y'all should.
Yeah, you should all feel ashamed of yourself.
Y'all should have bought that shit day one. People told you don't buy that shit day one. Look, I was a cheerleader.
Don't buy it at all.
I was a cheerleader for that shit. I was like, well, you know, if they can really pull it all together, it won't be that bad. No. It just got worse. It just like literally the more they talked, the more it got worse. It was like, okay, I can't.
Pants down and
We're done. We're fucking done. We're done. But anyway, fuck.
How will Google save the precious Stadia?
Oh, there is that article.
Let it crash and burn like they do everything else?
They'll pretend to
Well,
support
actually
it
put
for a
it-
year and then let it die. Even though it's their fault it didn't come out because they should have pushed this back to next year. They really should have. I don't know why they had to get it out now, or at least pushed it out to at least 6 months out into 6 months. That'd be November, December, January, February, March, April, May. To May. If they'd have just pushed this out 6 months to where it had more shit going for it.
Oh, yeah. I wonder how many heads in it. I wonder how full their basket will be of heads after this is all over.
they're gonna need a trash can.
Either a trash can or a really, really big basket. 'Cause, man, this is embarrassing.
This is just falling apart.
I would feel very embarrassed if I were Google right now.
I don't feel embarrassed because I don't have any money in Google, so I don't really give a shit either way.
No, I said I would feel embarrassed if
Oh.
I were Google.
Yeah. They should have foreseen this. They should have taken care to make sure this shit wasn't going to be the shit show that it is right now. And unfortunately, it is. And I feel sorry for the people who bought this day one. But I'm going to tell you right now,
I don't, because they asked for this BS.
if you bought this shit day one, you're a dumbass. Yeah, I said it. Because it's not worth buying day one. Like, anytime new technology comes out, you wait. You wait at least, especially technology that's not been perfected. You wait a good 6 months to a year before you get it. And these dumbasses bought the shit. Oh man, I want that. Because people want to be first. They want the prestige of being first. And it's shit. It's garbage. It's total and complete garbage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what to say except it's trash. It's not been working out good. Google, you fucked up. Like Bill Duke says, you fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up. There's nothing else to say. You fucked up, son. So where do we go from here, folks?
I was about to say, We got any choices, or did we blow through them all?
Well, I mean, we've got another 15 minutes till we're at the end, but where do we go from here? Anyone have any other topics they want to bring up before we?
Oh yeah.
Wait a second. Oh, here's some news. Here are the Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, aka Persona Emblem Special Edition, Encore details new dungeon songs and costumes. So basically, let me see right here. So here's the new content, okay? You get new music, a bunch of new songs and accompanying music videos from Kiria and Tsubasa Oribe, which I'm cool with because I actually like the music in that game. But then again, I'm a person who has always been an audiophile, so I love shit like that. Also, there's a bunch of new songs. I already said. There's a bunch of new costumes in Tokyo Mirage and Persona Emblem Special. Players can even customize the costumes a bit. And Maiko Shimazaki, a NPC from the original game, gets a new battle costume that she dons when she participates in battle. So I guess she's not a new playable character, but she can like come in and help you fight. Yeah, and there's brand new quests and a new dungeon. So, and it's coming out January 17th. So I'm definitely picking that up. I don't know about you guys. Even though that game kind of pissed me off, where they were calling this Encore and Special Edition, and it's missing content. But I guess the new content they're adding balances out the shit they took out. So I guess it's a wash either way. Plus, I really like that game, and I think Atlas deserves to get a break. At least that's just me. For those of you looking for a gaming laptop, $649 gets you a gaming laptop with 512 gigabytes of solid-state memory and NVIDIA's entry-level GTX 1650. Yeah.
Oh wow. That's not a terrible deal for a gaming laptop.
No. I mean, it'll basically let you play last-gen games at 720p at least, steady, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Current-gen stuff, you have to turn some shit down or, dial it down to, like, moderate or medium or even low settings. But, I mean, hell, you're gaming.
Yeah.
So, there you go, folks. So, anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap things up? We got 10 minutes till we shut down.
Yeah, there's.
Remember the topic we had with when we were talking about the game that made you want to break your controller, or throw your controller? Well,
yes.
I remember there's a sequence in Jak 2 where you had to get off the pier, and the game just kept throwing you soldiers and robots and everything it could throw at you, and it was a big pain. It took me like 1,000 tries to get through it. Not to mention that sometimes you'd run low on ammo, so you just kind of have to rely on melee attacks. But oh man, that was a nightmare.
It was unnecessarily difficult.
Yeah, at least at the time when I was a kid when I played it. Yeah.
You're like, dude, this is just fucking unnecessary. Why would you do that?
Yeah, they threw everything, including the kitchen sink, into it.
It's like, excuse me, this is unnecessary, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. Okay. Pinky, go.
There's this rumor going around about a new Crash Bandicoot game being developed by the same development studio that made the Insane trilogy.
I hope they fix the beep crash in the new game, because seriously, some of his platforming Red Fox could put it better than I can.
Game's trash. I mean, here's the thing. Crash Bandicoot, like, PlayStation fanboys want to put Crash Bandicoot up there with Mario, Donkey Kong, Link. They want to make him into a gaming icon like that. But in my opinion, in order for you to be a gaming icon like that, your games have to be good, like consistently good. And Crash Bandicoot games range from being okay to mediocre. There's no Crash Bandicoot game that I can say is like on par with a Mario 64 or a Mario Galaxy or a Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess or Ocarina of Time or Link to the Past. Like Sony doesn't make games like that. Naughty Dog, in my opinion, doesn't make games like that. I know everyone's like, oh, I love Uncharted and The Last of Us. If you like playing movies, good for you. But I play games. I don't play movies, bitch. I watch movies. I play games. They're two completely different mediums. And so, for me, I'm not impressed when people do that. But that's just me. You know, I'm just a guy. I'm just some guy. But if they can come out with, if they can make a Crash Bandicoot game that doesn't suck, personally, I wish they had gone back to the formula they did with those two semi-open world. They weren't really open world. They were like you went through certain areas. They were a series of linked areas. Crash of the Titans and Crash Mind Over Mutant. I actually like those games. I know they were overly simplistic, but I liked them.
Sometimes simple works.
Yeah.
I said.
The thing is, it's not the simplicity. I just prefer certain games over other. I just prefer certain shit over other stuff. But that's just me. Anything else? Any other news anyone wants to pop out before we wrap things up? Give our next week stuff. Anything?
Nope.
I'm trying to think about it, but if anything, the only thing I've been hearing lately is how WoW Classic got the golden joystick.
Well, I mean, a lot of people like World of Warcraft, so you know, let them have it.
Before it became how it is today.
More casualized.
Yeah, or
And they have WoW Classic.
so if anything, I'm going to say there's some quality of life things that other things I'll say it makes you wonder why you play a place. Like it turns into a ghost town in a sense.
I mean,
And this is from the same game that actually had pandemic happen.
well, the thing that people don't understand about World of Warcraft is that World of Warcraft and World of Warcraft and all that other stuff, like when those games came out, like EverQuest, Ultima Online, like that was a new medium. Like it hadn't been done before. They were like when you're creating a new medium, you can be forgiven for fucking up on certain things because you're creating something from scratch, right? It's like the first automobiles kind of sucked, but you know it was new, so you know they had to work on it. So you know I kind of give them a pass on that. It's like the first 3D Mario game. Like Super Mario 64 has some issues because it's the first it's not as polished as later games, but it's the first one that really did that. So it's like you kind of have to have it gets a pass on certain things, you know. Because they were creating shit from scratch, if you get my drift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But with that being said, we're at the end of the podcast. Any things you guys want to pimp out before we wrap things up?
Nope.
Okay. I guess it's just gonna be me. Let me go to my handy dandy. So, this is Mr. Red Fox of the BS Busters. If you want to get in touch with the cast via Gmail, you can reach me at mrredfoxbsbuster@gmail.com or at Twitter at Matthew Wesley at Mr. Red Fox 91. Next week is Thanksgiving. So, I believe Thanksgiving's on the 28th, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah, it's on
Thursday.
28.
Yeah, it's on the
So it's
28th.
on the list.
So, essentially speaking, I'm basically just gonna, I don't know. You guys want to do a podcast Wednesday or not?
I think we should take a week off or something.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
'cause I think a lot of people are going to be out of town and stuff.
So we're not. So we won't be having our normally scheduled podcast next week. I might do a live stream of me playing the Outer Worlds on a cheat run, where I've basically used a hack, a mod, if you will, to maximize my character so I can do everything.
And
Because now that I beat the
act in the
game, it's like,
present.
well, now I can cheat. It's now it's time to cheat. So, yeah, that'll be it's time for a cheat run. So I might stream that the day before Thanksgiving. The day after Thanksgiving, I'm going on a movie run. So I'll be watching 3 movies back to back to back at my local movie theater. Mainly, I'm gonna watch Ford versus Ferrari. I'm gonna try and watch Knives Out. I don't know. I don't know what the third film will be. I'll find something. Because I haven't been to the movies in a while, and I want to, lose my mind on some shit. So that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for joining us. And that's it. Peace. Good night.
And
Peace.
And Baby Yoda is love. Baby Yoda is life.